Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Maria Znamenska, Chief Medical Officer at Altris AI. Today I'll be discussing AI-driven OCT interpretation and quantitative progression tracking for dry AMD. In the dynamic landscape of healthcare, artificial intelligence stands at the forefront with a clear mission. Today, its primary objectives are the following: to increase the speed and accuracy of medical images interpretation, to decrease the number of medical mistakes, and to provide eye care specialists with second opinion in controversial cases. First of all, Altris AI is a powerful screening tool. When macular OCT exams are uploaded to our platform, the AI analyzes each scan based on its severity. Non-pathological scans are marked in green, moderate severity scans in yellow, and severe scans in red. Altris AI offers cutting-edge capabilities in retinal analysis through AI-driven, vendor-neutral segmentation of OCT images. It can accurately segment 10 retinal layers, allowing detailed exploration of each layer individually. Additionally, Altris enables precise analysis of the thickness of the entire retina or specific layers, providing critical insights into retinal health. One of its standout features is the ability to integrate and analyze data from multiple OCT devices regardless of the manufacturers, facilitating seamless comparisons of patient data. The next feature available in Altris AI, and one of the most popular among ophthalmologists and optometrists, is AI segmentation and classification. This feature allows eye care specialists to visualize more than 70 biomarkers and pathologies on OCT scans. We can see them all together, one by one, and this is also a great educational tool. Each biomarker can be measured, and a bit later I will demonstrate it. So how do we usually analyze follow-up OCT exams? Let's examine a clinical case of a 76-year-old woman with a history of dry AMD for over 10 years. She reported decreased visual acuity in her left eye starting in 2017. We retrospectively analyzed her OCT scans from 2017 to 2024 using Altris AI. When analyzing follow-up exams, we typically focus on evaluating the ETDRS scale and, most importantly, examining changes in retinal thickness. This process is illustrated here on this slide. The next step is to analyze specific B scans, focusing on those in the central macular area as they are the most important. By reviewing each scan one by one, we can identify key biomarkers and track how they change. This process involves comparing scans from different examinations to monitor these changes over time. Let's explore how AI can further enhance OCT follow-up analysis. Here we can see the initial OCT examination of this patient from 2017. The scan reveals biomarkers commonly associated with dry AMD. On this B scan, we can see confluent drusen, ellipsoid zone disruption, epiretinal fibrosis, intraretinal hyperreflective foci, and posterior hyaloid membrane detachment. And here we can see RPE disruption. All these biomarkers are typically presented in dry AMD. Next, we can upload up to 8 follow-up examinations of a single patient into Altris AI. The platform will then detect all biomarkers presented in the uploaded studies. On this slide, we can see the list of biomarkers identified during the follow-up observation of this patient. Now let's take a closer look at individual biomarkers. On this slide, we will examine the distribution and progression of confluent drusen. We can observe how their number and distribution within the macular area have changed over time, which is reflected on the ETDRS map. Altris AI can calculate the area or volume of different biomarkers, and on this slide we see the area measurements of confluent drusen displayed within the 1, 3, and 6 mm zones on the ETDRS map. These measurements are also visualized in graphs that demonstrate changes over time. What we can see is that the number and area of confluent drusen decrease over time. The next biomarker I'd like to examine is hypertransmission. We know that hypertransmission occurs in areas where RPE cells have degenerated. As shown on this slide, at the beginning of the observation period for this patient, hypertransmission was absent. However, over time, the area of these biomarkers' presence had increased. Measurements of hypertransmission area confirm this, as shown on the presented graphs, which demonstrate an increase in hypertransmission over time. Along with the appearance of other biomarkers, this indicates the progression of geographic atrophy. Progression to GA is confirmed by the appearance and progression of biomarkers such as neurosensory retinal atrophy, as shown on this slide. In the initial examinations, this feature was absent, but over time it emerged and expanded in its area. Here, Altris illustrates the increase in the area of neurosensory retinal atrophy over time. The next biomarker confirming the progression of geographic atrophy is retinal pigment epithelium atrophy. We can also observe its emergence and expansion over time in this patient. Here we can observe the progression of the retinal pigment epithelium atrophy area over time. As you may recall, during this patient's first visit, there were signs of the dry AMD. Here on this slide, we see the OCT from patient's third visit in 2020, and the emergence of all the biomarkers we just reviewed leads to a revised diagnosis recommendation of geographic atrophy. This is what you can see in the classification. Now we come to the most interesting part. Altris AI identified biomarkers that are not typical for dry AMD or geographic atrophy. Take note, here we demonstrate the appearance of fibrovascular RPE detachment. We can see that this biomarker was absent during the first 3 visits, but emerged during the 4th visit in 2024, and it's located in the lower part of the macular zone. On this slide, we can see the area measurement of this parameter, which first appeared during the 4th visit in 2024. The next biomarker, which is not typical for dry AMD or GA, is the appearance of subretinal hyperreflective material. We also observed this biomarker emerging in the lower part of the macular zone during the 4th visit in 2024. And we have also measured its area. The next biomarker that raised concern is subretinal fluid. Once again, during the 4th visit in 2024, this biomarker appeared in the lower part of the macular zone in this patient. We have once again measured the area of this biomarker. However, for fluids, calculating the volume of this biomarker is more informative. Therefore, in this case, we also measured its volume. Because of new biomarkers' appearance in this patient, we came back to Altris AI pathology detection tab. In the central retinal zone, we could still observe a set of biomarkers characteristic of geographic atrophy, which was reflected in the classification or diagnosis recommendation. It is worth noting that this patient's visual acuity remained unchanged. However, we remember that the biomarkers atypical for dry AMD or GA in this patient appeared in the lower part of the macular zone. Therefore, in the Altris pathology detection tab, we focused on the lower macular region. And what did we find? We observed the emergence of all the biomarkers previously discussed and a reclassification indicating the development of choroidal neovascularization and wet AMD. The detection of CNV in patients with GA is extremely important as it dramatically changes the therapeutic approaches for such patients. Moreover, the onset of CNV in patients with GA often goes unnoticed and is often missed by doctors due to the low visual function of patients and absence of complaints. As a result, appropriate treatment is often significantly delayed, which negatively impacts the prognosis for these patients. At the same time, Altris AI successfully identified the emergence of those biomarkers, allowing us to detect them promptly and adjust the patient's treatment strategy in time. A significant advantage of Altris in this case is its ability to detect more than one pathology. If we relied on AI to diagnose only geographic atrophy or only wet AMD, other conditions in different parts of the retina might have been missed. However, Altris identified two distinct pathologies within the same macular zone in this patient, providing us with a complete picture of her fundus condition and enabling us to determine the most appropriate treatment strategies for her. This case demonstrates all the benefits of Altris AI. Altris AI stands apart from other systems that focus on isolated conditions by detecting all retinal pathologies and biomarkers visible on a macular OCT scan. Unlike other solutions which require pre-existing assumption about a particular biomarker or pathology, Altris AI identifies more than 70 pathological retinal conditions, and by analyzing all these biomarkers, Altris AI minimizes the risk of overlooking critical pathologies. Finally, AI is transforming OCT follow-up analysis by shifting the focus from retinal thickness evaluation to the quantitative analysis of biomarkers, enabling early detection and more personalized treatment strategies. AI-driven OCT analysis enables the evaluation of the impact of different treatment on both primary and secondary biomarkers specific to the pathology, providing a more comprehensive understanding of treatment efficacy. Assessing changes in biomarker sizes through AI-enhanced OCT analysis provides a deeper understanding of the overall pathogenesis of various retinal diseases. And also AI-driven OCT analysis offers an additional tool for visually demonstrating pathological changes to our patients, leading to improved understanding and increased treatment compliance. So, if you would like to try AI-enhanced OCT analysis, you can do so for free by following the link shown on this slide. Thank you for your attention.